From Sexyy Red embracing her many controversies, to Jaidyn Alexis's legacy being nothing more than being one of Blueface's exes, here are 3 female rappers who are ruining their careers. You know we had to start with Janae Naraya Weary, better known as Sexyy Red, known for her neon bright red hair and her larger-than-life personality. Some might say Sexyy Red's doing pretty well for herself. After all, she was named as one of Billboard's biggest breakout artists of 2023, which makes the fact that she threw it all away all the more tragic. The first controversy we'll be covering has a lot to do with her hit single, Pound Town. Now, to be fair, Sexyy Red's never claimed to be a children's artist. Her entire brand is to be as raunchy and over the top as possible. So, in November 2023, a ballet teacher posted a video of herself ranting on TikTok. The video, which featured her ranting about how kids these days don't respect authority, immediately went viral. What does this have to do with Sexyy Red? Well, to elaborate on just how out of hand young kids have gotten these days, the ballet teacher talked about an instance when her classroom insisted on playing Pound Town. The woman was in hysterics, expressing how parents need to monitor their kids better. People in the comments echoed her sentiments. Again, none of Sexyy Red's lyrics are kid-friendly, not in the slightest. That video raked in millions of views and got back to the rapper herself. Now she could have stayed silent and let it go, but she chose not to. So Sexyy Red posted a response and didn't think it through. She addressed the ballet teacher and told her to continue playing her music to the class of 5-year-olds and essentially mind her own business. This wasn't the only time the rapper said something that got her in hot water. In 2024, Sexyy Red appeared on Theo Von's This Past Weekend podcast and endorsed former U.S. President Donald Trump for re-election. It wasn't her support for Trump that gathered backlash. It was the fact that the rapper was grossly misinformed and spread misinformation on the podcast. According to Sexyy Red, Trump has a lot of support from the Black community. She elaborated by saying that the former president has stuck by the community, pardoned people of color, endorsed programs for them, and overall been a key player in uplifting the Black community. People jumped in the comments to tell her that she'd gotten it all twisted. For starters, reports show that 84% of the Black community has expressed their grievances with the former president. Almost all of them agree that Trump's done virtually nothing for people of color in the United States. The controversies don't stop there. Sexyy Red's been long accused of using transphobic, homophobic, and racist slurs in her songs. She's been called out for it several times. However, just like her response to any controversy surrounding her, the rapper claims she couldn't care any less about the outrage. It's fair to say that the rapper gained prominence for being so loud and raunchy, but even some of her loyal fans have started to pull away from her. Besides her political leanings and her lyrical choices, it does seem like Sexyy Red's on the verge of creating more and more controversies herself, and then excusing it all by saying that's just her brand. The young rapper might have ended her career before it started, but Nicki Minaj's latest controversies have killed her legacy. Nicki's just as loud and unapologetic as anyone, and sure, she's been a part of a few very public feuds and controversies in the past, but never anything that could damage her career. She's the undisputed face of female rappers in the music industry, has several awards to show for a long and successful career, and is reaping in the benefits of an established legacy. Well, she was at least. It all came crashing down in 2020 when her husband and the father of her child, Kenneth Perry, was charged for failing to register as a sex offender. Nicki started dating her childhood friend back in 2018, and the two got married just a year later. Then, another year later, it came to light that Kenneth had committed horrible crimes back in the day. In the 90s, he was arrested for attacking a woman, and in the early 2000s, he was booked for first-degree manslaughter. Kenneth's criminal record was made public after he was arrested again in 2020 after moving states with Nicki. Of course, everyone looked toward the rapper because how could she justify being with a man accused of committing such horrible crimes? And you know what she said? In not so many words, she told everyone to mind their own business. That's right. Nicki made it clear that not only was she aware of the charges, but she believed Kenneth was being mistreated. The rapper found a way to justify his actions, arguing that her husband was just a teenager back then. It didn't help when the victim came forward and accused the husband-wife duo of trying to intimidate her or buy her silence. Now, this was career suicide in itself, but it also started a conversation. Nicki has a long-standing history of defending violent men. Her older brother, Jelani, is also currently serving 25 years to life behind bars for an incident involving an 11-year-old girl. Although Nicki never addressed Jelani's horrifying crime in public, a lot of fans think that her Instagram post just before his arrest said everything. In 2015, the rapper posted a picture of Jelani while the case against him was still active and captioned it, "Jelani, I love you more than words could ever comprehend." The thing that irked fans here was that he was arrested just a few days later. Fans believed that Nicki knew he'd be arrested soon and wanted to say her piece before it all came crashing down. Unfortunately for her, the Instagram post was creepy and not at all wholesome. Fans haven't been able to look at her the same way ever since. It doesn't help that Nicki's desperate attempt at a career revival was feuding with Megan Thee Stallion. A feud she lost, by the way. On the topic of female rappers who start feuds they can never win, let's talk about Jaidyn Alexis. Probably the most unfortunate thing about Jaidyn's career is the fact that she could have gone on to become the next big thing in hip-hop. That's if she didn't hitch her star to a falling wagon. We're, of course, talking about her on and off relationship with the equally controversial rapper, Blueface. Jaidyn rose to popularity in 2023 with the release of her first single, Barbie. The song was an immediate hit, with many people swearing by her and claiming she'd soon be at the top of the charts. At the time, though, she'd been involved with Blueface, whose career had already ended with his many controversies. Just a quick rundown, but Blueface has been accused of exploiting his young son for social media fame and picking fights with fans. Speaking of which, Jaidyn's often the one who ends up partaking in those fights. In December 2023, a video of Blueface accusing a crowd member of throwing ice at him went viral. The video showed the rapper calling the fan on stage, where she proceeded to tell him she didn't do it. Blueface didn't hear a word and instead shoved her at Jaidyn, who picked up on the cue and started swinging at the poor woman. Unfortunately, this wasn't the first time she had fought his battles for him. Jaidyn also received heat for attacking another one of Blueface's exes, Chris Sean Rock, on social media. The irony here is that Blueface cheated on Jaidyn, the mother of his kids, with Ms. Rock before getting her pregnant and leaving to go back to Jaidyn. It's clear that the man doesn't respect either of these women. Still, it's unfortunate that Jaidyn ended her career just for him. So, from Jaidyn's legacy being nothing more than one of Blueface's exes, to Sexyy Red embracing her many controversies, those were three rappers who are ruining their careers.